Now, your forecast with Storm Tracker Live.
Well, in our area, for the most part today, we have been just tracking some regular run-of-the-mill thunderstorms, but outside the area, we have had some strong and severe thunderstorms, and including some tornado warnings in the Panhandle. Right now, in our Durham Digital Camera view of Restaurant Row, we do have some wet roadways because we've had some light to moderate rainfall across the Dothan area and much of the Wiregrass throughout much of the evening. That's a good thing because that will actually help to stabilize the atmosphere as our main line of storms moves in from the west, which is just to the west of Interstate 65 right now. And down in the Florida Panhandle, we've had more of those strong storms as they've been rolling in off the Gulf of Mexico, and that's why we've been seeing some brief spin-up tornadoes. And right now we do have a tornado warning well south of Interstate 10, south of Blountstown in Liberty County. That's good for another half an hour or so, and this storm is moving to the north at a pretty good clip, around 25 miles an hour. This is going to be one of our concerns for tonight, as we do have more of these what we call discrete kind of storms in front of that main line, because they are the ones that are most likely to rotate and produce those tornadoes, because we have fairly strong winds out of the southeast, and that's one of the things that we need for tornadoes to develop. So there's the loop throughout most of today, a 12-hour loop. You can see we've had some sunshine, but then later in the day the clouds really thickened up, and that's going to be how we are going to continue to see things tonight. And again, here's that main line starting to get a little bit closer for us, and there's the current winds right now, the southeast at 17 miles an hour, and when you have that at the surface and a more of a southerly flow from aloft, that's when we can see some of that development as far as tornadic stuff, and that's what we're really seeing the Panhandle. So here's the loop from out throughout today. We can see that main line getting closer to us, and that's where we've seen some of the strongest storms in Mississippi, and they produce a lot of strong winds and hail, which is something that we could possibly see as they move in our area. We do have a tornado watch for Covington County and westward to, say, the eastern shore of Mobile, and that's good until 3 a.m. So as that's line does move through, that's where we have the best environment for some of those tornadoes to develop. And we're under a flash flood watch for us through the day tomorrow, because not only are we going to possibly see some strong winds as these storms do move through, they are producing a lot of heavy rain. We're still in the 70s on the eastern side of that front, and we have a lot of moisture to work with, and that moisture in the atmosphere, the dew point temperature, when that's above 70 degrees, that means we have a lot of fuel for storms to work with, and that's, as a result, that's why we are still under that slight risk for seeing severe weather for us tonight. And then through the day tomorrow, that risk will shift further east. I think for us it's going to be more in the early part of the day, and as the storms push off to the east, that risk will move into central Georgia. So for tonight, that main threat is going to be those severe thunderstorms overnight, producing straight line winds in excess of 60 miles an hour, possibly producing some large hail and those isolated tornadoes. We'll have all the warnings you may possibly need overnight here on WDHN. So here for 3 o'clock, Futurecast shows that we can really see some heavy rain, say Geneva County, Coffee County, Henry County, and Houston County, and that's when we could see the strongest winds with that. By 7 o'clock, that heaviest rain will be more down in the Florida Panhandle, but as that front starts to get a little bit closer, that's when we'll start to see things clear out. By the afternoon, 1 o'clock, that stuff is already going to be shifting off into Georgia. And then once that front moves through, those winds are going to shift out of the northwest, and that's going to bring us some cooler and drier conditions for the rest of the week. So for tonight, we are going to keep temperatures pretty mild. 68 degrees for the low temperature with a lot of rain, potential for severe storms pretty much until that front does pass through us. But then after that, we're going to have those temperatures topping out just in the mid-70s, and they'll creep up a little bit closer into the 80s by Friday and Saturday. But those low temperatures in the 50s are going to be actually below average for the next couple of days. It's going to be a great trade-off from having these possibly severe storms this week. So we just have